Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Hello, this is Marsha Hawkins, and this is Elevating with Marsha. Welcome to the show today. Elevating with Marsha is a way for you to elevate your business with a guest appearance on Elevating with Marsha. Direct message me via Facebook or Instagram to learn how you can feature your business, product, or services with a red-hot podcast. Create superfans for your business? Well, take the hour to deliver your personal message about your business in a podcast format. You can find the show broadcasted on XM 203, Sirius 217, and on the Sirius XM app at 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. You can find me also on iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, Stitcher, TuneIn, and the American Forces Radio Network. Today's show is brought to you by Blue Wave Financial. Let Mike Athis help you start a new career in the insurance industry. To learn more, stop by bluewavefinancial.com. Mike is the best in the business. And myhealth-quotes.com to learn how to navigate crucial information to ensure you're able to make a knowledge-based decision when it comes to selecting the right health or life plan for you and your family. It's not advised to simply obtain an online quote without understanding underwriting guidelines. Critical information needed to ensure you select a plan you are actually qualified for. Very important. And elevatedmediaesq.com. We do it all from video marketing, social media management, and more importantly, we help you take your business to the next level. Stop by our Facebook or Instagram page at Elevating with Marsha. We post informative information, hot sports news, business, lifestyle tips, and ideas to help you elevate you and your business. Today's podcast on Elevating with Marsha, we're going to be talking with Tony M. He's going to guide us through his journey with his gambling addiction. We will talk recovery, resources, and how he can help you. We're going to bring Tony back on the other side on Elevating with Marsha, XM 203, Sirius 217, and you can find us on the app at 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. Today's podcast featuring Tony G and his journey with a gambling addiction. We're going to be right back on the other side with Tony G on Sports Byline USA Radio Network.
The world is changing so fast these days. You ever feel like you're not keeping up personally or professionally? Enter Elevated Media ESQ. Elevating with Marsha allows you to advertise in a form you never thought possible. They feature a business in an interview-type fashion, which is comfortable, amazingly affordable, and flexible. Not only that, the feature on your business is then formulated into a podcast for convenient, on-demand listening 24/7, 365. These times we're living in demand a different, clearer, more concise message. Does this sound like how you feel about how you market and advertise your business? Reach out today, no matter how big or small your business is. Elevating with Marsha is highly effective, and you'll be so grateful for the superfans she'll create. Email hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. Elevated Media ESQ, changing your business for the better.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, don't worry. There's a bright side. The experts at BrightSideTaxRelief.com will protect you from having your wages garnished, money deducted from your bank account, and your home or business seized. BrightSideTaxRelief.com will fight the IRS and negotiate to reduce or eliminate the amount you owe. Visit BrightSideTaxRelief.com or call 800-730-4313. That's 800-730-4313. The consultation is free. Go to BrightSideTaxRelief.com now.
So, how can I promote my new curbside pickup service?
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need custom floor decals that'll get noticed, not just walked on.
Also possible. Staples Connect can help your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. Now get $10 off signs, banners, or posters when you spend $50 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. N73 valid in store and online. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
Gotta finish this today.
Cristiano's construction projects typically run smoothly, but this project's pipeline is about to burst.
Yo, boss, where you want us to put this? To the left. Your other left. John.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ron Barr here. Now that people are getting out and exercising more, I want to recommend Relief Factor to you. Relief Factor helps those exercise-related pains and general muscle aches and pains. Now, if you're going to be working in the garden, you're going to be using your hands a lot. And if your hands hurt, listen to what Julia Brown had to say about using Relief Factor.
I had pain in my hands that kept me from work and doing projects around the home. I heard about Relief Factor on the radio and began taking it, and it left me with pain-free hands again. I was able to do the things around the house that I enjoy doing. I'm so glad I found Relief Factor.
100 million Americans suffer from ongoing pain due to aging, exercise, overexertion, and the effects of everyday living. Be sure to check out Relief Factor at ReliefFactor.com or give them a call at 800-500-8384. That's 800-500-8384.
Between jobs, retiring, or just need health or life insurance, please visit myhealth-quotes.com or call 833-687-5261. Before you try to get a quote online, call us. We will provide you with the information most sites will not. We teach you exactly what life or health insurance plan you qualify for, how to use your plan, and maximize your benefits. We provide you with the information to make a knowledge-based decision to ensure selecting the right plan. myhealth-quotes.com to schedule an appointment.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Marsha Hawkins, and this is Elevating with Marsha. Welcome to my podcast today. We are revisiting addiction. Today's focus will be on gambling. I, for one, have a lot to say about this and a lot to learn. I imagine anyone listening to the podcast today will tell you they know a family member, a friend, a coworker, a child, a sibling, someone they know and love, that they possibly could themselves be the addicted one. We want to talk about it because we know it is at epidemic proportions in this country when it comes to addiction. And gambling is one that I want to take a look at, want to visit it, and find out a little bit more because I, too, like everyone else listening to the podcast today, has a lot to learn. So I'd like to bring Tony on. Nice to meet you, Tony. Welcome to the program today.
Thank you very much, Marsha. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Tony, I really wanted to bring you on the program. I know a little bit about a gambling addiction. I have a loved one who has had a lifelong addiction to gambling. And we're not here to revisit their story today. But what we are going to do is talk about your story, your journey through the life of a gambler. Now, do you refer to yourself as addicts, a gambling addict? Is that the correct terminology? And correct me if I'm wrong.
I always say compulsive gambler.
Compulsive gambler. Okay, good to know. I want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah, most say compulsive gambler.
A compulsive gambler. All right, so Tony, let's start off by hearing from you. Your story, how gambling, kind of overtook your life. And so bring us through your journey.
Okay, I'm going to start with being 5 years old. and I lost my father.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much my mentors became my 4 uncles and my grandfather. And when I got into my mid-teens, I noticed that my godfather, who was the youngest of the 4 uncles, had a lot of kind of scary-looking guys around him, and I found out that he was a bookie. So I started hanging out there. He used to have, there were no cell phones then, so he had a couple different lines of phones. He had TVs going all the time, radios, and I just kind of loved his lifestyle. So at that time, he taught myself and my first cousin, his son, how to play poker. So my first, besides knowing that people were betting with him, the first thing that I did was play poker. He taught us how to play poker, and he taught us not to play every hand, things like that. We started playing in games with guys older than us, and I was actually winning. I did very well.
Well, my question was, were you any good at it?
I actually was good at it. There were guys that didn't like me in the game because I didn't play every hand, and most of the time I would win. So I was pretty good at it. And as time went on, it was pretty much like breathing to me. Gambling was a normal thing. There was nothing wrong with it. I was proud of it. Everybody knew I was a gambler. And if anybody got in my way, I just say, no, there's nothing wrong with me. This is what I do. I'm a gambler. In my
Is that what
own
you
mind,
did for a living? Is that what you primarily did for a living? Was you gambled for your income, or?
No, I did not, but it was in my own mind a plan to eventually work at a casino or be a professional gambler. And a little bit later, I'll tell you that there was something that I did that was kind of being a professional gambler, and that's what got me into Gamblers Anonymous. But I just went along for 40 years, gambling whenever I wanted. I got into a regular poker game every Thursday night. And I want to tell you how selfish this addiction is, because it didn't matter. Nothing got in the way of my poker game, even my kids' birthdays. I used to say, oh, your birthday's tonight? It's Thursday. No, your birthday's tomorrow night. We're having your party tomorrow night. Daddy's got to go to his poker game. Daddy doesn't miss his poker game. So during that time, I didn't realize it, but I was a very selfish person. And gambling I did it whenever I wanted. And, I went to the track with my uncles, the horse track, and I ended up at the dog track is where I finished my career. It was a 40-year career. I went 40 years with gambling as much as I wanted. And I don't want to just tell my whole story, but I just want to tell you that the reason I ended up in Gamblers Anonymous, because the last 2 years before I went in, I was never lying before that. I did not lie. I told I'm going to the track for the weekend, whatever. But when I got into this dog racing program, which was, in my own mind, it was for a professional gambler, and I wanted it so bad. I loved gambling. I loved math, those two things. It was all done by a calculator. I didn't even know how to use a computer at that time. But I wanted it more and more every day, and the only way I could get there, because I was engaged, was lie. I had to lie. I started lying, and I never did that. I lied to everybody I loved. And that is the common theme of a compulsive gambler. We lie, even though I didn't consider myself to be a liar. So, yeah. So I'll tell you. Go ahead, Martha. You have a question?
Yeah, well, just I was listening to it, and I guess I didn't realize, we talked before the program, and I didn't realize that this was a 40-year, quote unquote career. But it begs the question, of those 40 years, when did it occur to you in that 40-year span, like, holy cow, this is a problem. Like I can't stop this. Like this is overtaking my life. Or did it take a catastrophic event to get your attention where you finally threw the towel in and said, I'm going to GA?
I'm going to say between year 39 and 40, because that's when I was doing all my dog racing and handicapping, and I had to hide it from my fiance because she hated seeing me do it. I should go back to 2001 when she walked out on me. We had been together 5 years. And when I take her out on a Saturday night, take her out to dinner, maybe go to a movie, then it's about 10 o'clock and I'm ready to handicap. She didn't exist anymore. I would sit there and handicap and she would watch me and I'd do it for hours and hours. I'd stay up as late as I could, try to keep myself awake. And one night she just walked out on me and I just sort of looked up. She said, I can't do this anymore because of your gambling. I kind of looked up and in my own sick mind, I said, great, now I can gamble as much as I want and she won't get in my way.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, I did lose her for almost a year. And we did start dating other people. But I realized somewhere, I woke up one morning and realized that I really loved her and I needed her back in my life. And I had to fight to get her back. And I did get her back about a year later. But I was still gambling. Now, I would just want to add in that her mother, she used to talk to her mother about my gambling. And my mother would say, oh, you know, he's got his own business. He needs some kind of release. And so she would kind of enable me to gamble, and Linda respected her mother, so she said, what can I do? So the next thing, she wanted to go to a therapist. So I said, okay, we'll go to a therapist. This guy was not schooled in addiction. So if anybody out there is listening and you're going to a therapist, make sure that person is schooled in addiction. And of course, if it's gambling, make sure they're schooled in gambling. So we went to this guy, and he said, and they were telling the story about all the time I'm taking, and he said kind of like the same thing as my mother-in-law. Well, this guy's got his own business. He's got a lot of stress. And some guys golf, some guys do sports. He does this dog racing thing. So again, she was frustrated because he was really enabling me to keep going. But the reason I got to Gamblers Anonymous in December of 2004, I was supposed to go, we both had daughters from other marriages, and I was supposed to go Christmas shopping in early December with my daughter, and my fiance was going Christmas shopping with her daughter. Well, after she left, I took my daughter aside and I said, listen, honey, we're not going to go Christmas shopping right now. We're going to go to the dog track in Hinsdale, New Hampshire, because that's the only place I could take her. It's the only place I could take her because they wouldn't let minors in without an adult except at Hinsdale, because my main dog track was Plainfield, Connecticut. So I took her up there and I said, we're gonna make a lot more Christmas money, and then we're gonna go Christmas shopping so we can buy more presents for everybody. And she's 14 years old. I want to throw in that when she wanted to watch cartoons or something before the races started. As soon as the races started, because we had our own TV, I said, you can't watch cartoons anymore. We got to watch the dog races. And so she would just have to sit there.
I'm marveling at how you were able to phrase that to her, to sell it to her, if you will. You know, no more cartoons. We got to watch the races. So, wow. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. So I'm going to get back to you. I think it's pretty much that time.
Sure. Yep, we'll pick it up on the other side of the break for sure, because we do need to take one. So you're listening to Elevating with Marsha on XM 203, Sirius 217, and on the Sirius XM app at 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. We'll be right back.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real healthcare for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable healthcare for you and your family immediately and save as much as 50% off your current monthly healthcare payments. Our plans are perfect for people that are self-employed, can't afford health benefits where they work, or just want to pay less for their current healthcare. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. We even offer some of the new Christian faith-based health benefits. Save up to 50% on your family's health care. Make a free quick call now. There are no contracts, and we give you a 10-day money-back trial period. Call Provision Enrollment right now for your risk-free, guaranteed health insurance quote starting at $6 a day.
800-472-5145. 800-472-5145. That's 800-472-5145.
Have you written a book? You can become a published author with Dorrance Publishing, the nation's oldest publishing services company. Countless authors have trusted Dorrance for nearly 100 years to bring their book to the market. Our professional team will edit your text, design your book pages, and create an appealing, eye-catching custom cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion marketing campaign that makes your book available where people buy books, like Amazon and brick-and-mortar bookstores. So make this free call right now to claim your free author's guide to publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. That's 800-485-6003.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Marsha Hawkins, and this is Elevating with Marsha on Sirius XM 203. Sirius 217 and on the app at 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. It's also featured on iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, iTunes, and also you can find us on the American Forces Radio Network. Today, we are talking about addiction, specifically gambling. We're speaking with Tony M. He's guiding us through his journey and what got him to the table, so to speak, of his own recovery. We're also going to be giving you some resources and how he can help you. And we are going to bring Tony back. So Tony, before the break, we were talking about your Christmas shopping expedition with your 14-year-old daughter and how, so I want to go back to that. And how did that day end up unfolding for you?
First of all, I had my cell phone off so that my fiance couldn't call me. And I had a bad day. I had a really bad day. And the funny thing about it is a few days earlier, I had a good day, a really good day. And in the readings, it says a lot of times people come into the program after they make a big win because it gets worse. But anyway, that day I had a bad day, and I don't even think I made it to the last race. So I took my daughter into the car, put my phone back on, and there was about 4 messages from my fiance, saying, where'd you go shopping? What'd you get? Who'd you get for? All this stuff. And I'm sitting there saying, what the heck lie am I going to make up this time? I mean, I had this feeling of a grapefruit in my stomach is the best way I can describe it. So I called her up and I came clean. I said, we didn't go Christmas shopping. And I went to the dog track and I was going to try to make more money to go Christmas shopping. And, I pretty much lied to you. And so that day, we were living together. I slept on the couch because I didn't feel worthy to sleep next to her that night. The next day I made the call to the Gamblers Anonymous hotline. And I knew nothing about 12-step programs, nothing at all. I didn't know what to expect. But I made the call, and a woman answered, and she told me the next meeting in Western Massachusetts wasn't until Thursday in Long Meadow, Thursday at 6:30. And there was a 10 o'clock meeting as well, but I was working, so I couldn't go to that. So the truth of the matter is there actually was a Northampton meeting at that night, but I guess she didn't have all the information. And I just want to add that I am on that hotline myself, and I make sure I have all the information. But that's the way it was meant to be in my eyes. So I went to my first meeting. on December 9, 2004 at 6:30 p.m. in Long Meadow, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And I
You have
was
not,
sitting there.
correct?
I was sitting there listening to the readings, and the people started doing, everybody does this 5-minute therapy in these programs. Pretty much everybody talks in most of the rooms. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, what a bunch of idiots these people are. They don't know how to gamble. I know how to gamble. You don't gamble on luck. They're a bunch of idiots. I'm not coming back here. But I can tell you, Marcia, about 3/4 of the way through the meeting. Now, I'm Catholic. I was educated by nuns. About 3/4 of the way through the meeting, this woman says, my name is so-and-so. She gives her last initial. I'm a sister of St. Joseph. And that kind of like hit me with like a rock. It was just, what? A sister? I mean, I had a lot of respect for the nuns that educated me. So that humbled me some, because I needed humility and I had a big ego as well. So I finished the meeting. I don't remember what I said. I just told them the story that I just told you about going to the track instead of Christmas shopping. And so I waited to next week's meeting. On Tuesday at around 8 o'clock, someone called me from that meeting. And that was the second thing that made me go back. I said, these people kind of like care about me. There's somebody calling me that I don't even know. And I went back to my next meeting. And there was one thing else that I needed to do. I had a whole briefcase of handicapping material that I felt that I had to have to keep my power as a professional gambler. So week 3 on Tuesday, I put the briefcase in a dumpster. I went back Wednesday. It was still there. I so wanted to take that out because I wasn't ready. But the next day, which was the day of the meeting, I went back and the dumpster was empty. And that made a big difference to me. And
Interesting.
I've been in for 16 and a half years now. I never went back to gambling. A lot of people do, but I've been able to stay. And the reason that I believe I haven't gone back are twofold. One is the way my uncle taught me to gamble. I wouldn't just go and buy a scratch ticket or play a slot machine or Keno. I still wouldn't do that. But the other thing was that I became involved, took offices, got on the hotline, started going to extra meetings, and I became a servant of Gamblers Anonymous, and I have been ever since.
Wow. Interesting. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions. Would you say that a compulsive gambler, that money is their mistress?
Well, yes and no. Their mistress is the addiction, the pull, and their character defects. It's more about that, even though they don't know it at the time. Everybody thinks, every compulsive gambler says, all I'm going to do is make the big win and then I'm going to stop. And they never do, because they can't, because they're a compulsive gambler. If you win, you want to win more. If you lose, you chase those losses. So the money part of it, believe it or not, is the easy part, because we have something that's called pressure relief. If I get a chance, I'm going to read page 17 of our yellow book to you. But we have something, a free pressure relief for somebody. Usually the rule of thumb is you have to be in the program 30 days without a bet. And we have people that are very knowledgeable that will help you get out of debt. The hard part is making amends, changing your character, and things like that.
Interesting. I want to expand on that a little bit, though, because I wondered, and we talked about this prior to the show, is it, part of the challenge for people that they do get themselves so far into debt and their finances are just in complete ruin, that are they trying to, and I really want to understand this, are they trying to gamble their way out of that mess? Or is it just that they're such a compulsive gambler that's ancillary, like that doesn't even, the numbers don't matter to them. They're addicted to the gambling. So I want some clarity on that.
Well, actually, both answers are yes. They're addicted, and they're getting deeper and deeper and deeper in debt, and they think their only way out is to keep gambling and have that big hit. But as I said, it isn't the only way out, because a compulsive gambler never stops gambling after they make the big hit. They just want to win more. They might pay a bill or something with it.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's it. Because I as you explained to me earlier, which I found fascinating, that's one thing that I did not realize is that the financial piece of it is actually, I think you said, and please clarify if I'm wrong, that's almost the easy part for the gambler. It's being able to actually give up the gambling is really where they're challenged. It's not so much of being able to put their finances back together, correct?
correct. It's all about
Wow.
that. It's all about making amends. It's all about honesty with yourself, number one, and everybody around you that you lied to. You have to become honest, and you have to
Right.
want it. And it always works if you do. It always works.
How do they navigate handling their money, or should they handle
I'm
money?
sorry. It's suggested that they turn all their money over to their spouse if they have one, significant other, someone they trust. They don't handle money anymore, and they get receipts for it. And it works. It's very humbling, but that's what it is suggested to do. If you don't have money or any access, you can't gamble.
Right. And has online gambling really been kind of really brought GA more to the forefront? Because now with online gambling, I mean, even with the pandemic, you could gamble. A little scary, actually.
Yeah. It's brought a lot of younger people into the program, which was not the case with live meetings because of college and sports betting and things like that. So absolutely, with a push of a button, you go to the site and you're there. And it's just all kinds of ways to gamble.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Tony, we do need to take a quick break. This is Elevating with Marsha on XM 203, Sirius 217, and on the Sirius XM app, 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. You can also find us on iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, Stitcher, TuneIn, and the American Forces Radio. We are talking with Tony, Compulsive Gambler. We're going to talk how you, if you're struggling with it or a family member, can get into recovery. We'll be right back. If you're not using podcasting for your business, you will. Not having a podcast is like not having a website. Hi, this is Marsha Hawkins of Elevating with Marsha on Sirius XM Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel. You can get your business on my podcast. It's a great way to create superfans for your business with a controlled message in a news format. What better way to get in front of your intended audience, your clients, your customers, or patients? Please contact me at hello@elevatedmediaesq.com about getting your business on my show, Elevating with Marsha. We also can create a personalized podcast that you can use on your website or social media channels. Contact me at hello@elevatedmediaesq.com and join me on Elevating with Marsha on Sirius XM Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel.
Your outdoor experiences could be better. Clearly better. Kaenon sunglasses are made exclusively with polarized lenses for optimal clarity. Using Japanese optics, Kaenon's lenses are clearer, lighter, and stronger than other lenses, and they're nearly impossible to scratch. With frames handcrafted in Italy, Kaenon sunglasses elevate your experiences outside with a degree of clarity beyond your wildest imagination. Kaenon designs and manufactures our high-performance eyewear to be clearly better than any sunglasses you've tried before. Use the exclusive code KaenonCast15 at Kaenon.com to receive 15% off your first pair. That's KaenonCast15. Kaenon. Clearly better.
The double play!
It's baseball season, and you're ready to go all out. So you ordered the essentials to make game day a success, like a jersey, a power recliner, and a bigger screen. And you used your Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping. Rewards that you put toward an essential piece of the celebration, an air horn. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2021, Bank of America Corporation.
Between jobs, retiring, or just need health or life insurance, please visit myhealth-quotes.com or call 833-687-5261. Before you try to get a quote online, call us. We will provide you with the information most sites will not. We teach you exactly what life or health insurance plan you qualify for, how to use your plan, and maximize your benefits. We provide you with the information to make a knowledge-based decision to ensure selecting the right plan. myhealth-quotes.com to schedule an appointment.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Marsha Hawkins, and this is Elevating with Marsha. Welcome back to the podcast. We are revisiting addiction. That is today's focus. We're talking about gambling. I, for one, am very interested in this subject. I have a family member who, deals with compulsive gambling, and I'm fascinated is maybe not the appropriate word I would want to use, but I'm hungry to learn as much as I possibly can about this addiction. Alcohol, drugs, I don't know a lot about that as well, but it is an addiction that is more readily talked about in society. So I wanted to bring Tony on, who is a recovering compulsive gambler, and we're listening to his story. And we're also going to tell you how, if you are a family member or someone you know is struggling with gambling, how you can reach out via GA, and Tony can give us some advice on that. But Tony, I want to welcome back. I want to revisit something. It's just a fascinating subject for me. It's something I'm very hungry to understand more. Addiction, in my opinion, is at epidemic proportions right now between food and gambling and drugs and alcohol. And I talked to a judge one time, he's a friend of mine, and I remember him telling me once, he said, if it wasn't for addictions, drugs and alcohol, he said, I'd probably be out of a job. So that segues in. Do a lot of compulsive gamblers end up getting into legal trouble with their addiction?
The three words we use, Marcia, is prison, insanity, or death. Absolutely. Absolutely. People steal money from their jobs.
Prison, insanity, or death.
Right. Those are the three words we use. I know many members that are in prison now or have been in prison because of their gambling, because of embezzling money. And the insanity part is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And this is the highest percentage of suicide of all addictions, the highest percentage.
Really?
So it's very scary. And
can I ask, is there any statistics as to why that is? I did not know that, to be honest.
I think it's because of what we were talking before, that they're so deep in debt that they think the big win, and the big win comes over and over. They do the insanity, and then they feel it's the only way out. So I can only speak for what I've heard. I never got to that point, thank God, but that's what I would think, that there's no way out. My only way out is taking my own life. Driving off that bridge. I've heard people tell stories about leaving the casino and finding a bridge and wanting to drive off.
Oh, wow.
It's very scary.
And I do know that I know that suicide for addiction in general is very, very high. I would figure, this is my ignorance, I would figure that somebody who is dealing with that is more or less, if you're strung out on drugs or drinking, alcohol is a depressant. To me, that's kind of the conduit, if you will, or precursor to someone, dabbling with a suicide attempt. So that's interesting. And I did not know that. So that's interesting. I did not know that little factoid, or big factoid, I should say. So, wow, that's just insane. So, Tony, let's talk a little bit about somebody listening to this and really feeling that they're identifying with it. You mentioned you wanted to read something to the listeners. I would love for you to read that right now if you have that handy. I'm assuming it's something related to GA.
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to read this part that tells exactly what Gamblers Anonymous is, or the part that we follow. We make it simple. We follow page 17. We kind of call this our Bible. But I don't know if there's time for both, but I could I think I'll just read page 17 because I know we have to give some other information, but this is what the book says to anyone in the program. And this is to all compulsive gamblers. Attend as many meetings as possible per week. Meetings make it. 2, telephone other members as often as possible between meetings. Use the telephone list. 3, don't test or tempt yourself. Don't associate with acquaintances who gamble. Don't go in or near gambling establishments. Don't gamble for anything. 4, live the Gamblers Anonymous program one day at a time. Don't try to solve all your problems at once. 5, read the recovery and unity steps often. Continuously review the 20 questions. Follow the steps in your daily affairs. These steps are the basis for the entire Gamblers Anonymous program. Practicing them is the key to your growth. Get involved and be of service. If you have any questions, ask them of your trusted servants and sponsors. 6, get a sponsor. It is difficult to recover on your own. Sponsorship gives an opportunity for members to work on a one-on-one basis to achieve recovery by sharing, practicing, and working the 12 steps of recovery. There's 2 more. 7, we encourage every Gamblers Anonymous member to have a pressure relief group meeting as it offers guidance toward a normal way of thinking and living. Pressure relief group meeting may help alleviate legal, financial, employment, and personal pressures. Adherence to it will aid in your recovery. And number 8, be patient. The days and weeks will pass soon enough. And as you regularly attend meetings, abstain from gambling, follow the guidelines on this page, you will experience continued recovery.
Wow. And I do know that when somebody either calls the hotline, and correct me if I'm giving out any misinformation, but when they call the hotline or they attend their first GA meeting, and I know that even through the pandemic, you were able to do them via Zoom. I know that we don't have time to go through all the 20 questions, but on the 20 questions, what is the percentage typically of what you deem that they have a compulsive gambling problem? And is that number usually, around the right mark, or is it much higher than that? I'm curious about that.
Well, at the bottom of the questions, it says most compulsive gamblers will answer yes to at least 7 of these questions. So
okay, 7 out of 20.
7 is really low. Many people answer all yes to all 20. And
wow.
Number 20, I want to tell you number 20. Have you ever considered self-destruction or suicide as a result of your gambling? And many say yes.
Wow. What percentage would you say answer yes to 20?
Probably half. I'd say about 50% of the people that answer the questions.
Wow. So typically, I would imagine much like alcoholism or drug addiction or any addiction, you hit the proverbial rock bottom. And is it usually something it sounds like for you, a light bulb kind of went on in your head and thought, this is nuts, I can't do this anymore? Or is it something like a legal issue, or someone's given an ultimatum? It's me or the gambling. What typically, gets somebody into the program?
All of the above. Everything you just mentioned. And a light bulb goes off. There's something legal in court that you're forced to go to these meetings, or you go to jail. Or, and this has worked, ultimatums from your significant other or family, even interventions. So all those things can work. I know gambling, we don't have.
Is gambling synonymous with lying?
Absolutely. I never heard one person in the program that didn't say they didn't lie to keep their addiction going, to their closest people, of course.
And that's interesting because I do not have any addictions. And it's really interesting because I've often spoken to people, I have family members who are alcoholics. And it's really funny because when I communicate with them, I always say, I don't think that you realize that I know the addictive behavior. I know that behavior. Even if I know that person is not drinking, I know they're what I call dry drunking. Like they may not be drinking, but the behavior has not changed. And I think sometimes that either a compulsive gambler or an alcoholic, what they don't realize is that their loved ones, their employers, their children, like we know the behavior. I mean, it's so glaring obvious what's going on. Are you kidding yourself thinking that you're hiding it? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about someone in general. Do they think they're really hiding the behavior?
Well, sometimes they really are. Sometimes they are hiding it, and the family is oblivious and other times they aren't. And I want to mention that half of the calls from the hotline that I get are from the people affected, not the gambler themselves. That's why we have Gam-Anon, which is equal to Al-Anon. And I have some sites. I know we're running out of time.
Yeah,
I want to give you that.
we got time. Let's go through those right now because that is really the
Okay,
essence
I'm
of
going to give you
do.
the website is gamblersanonymous.org. That's the national. The local is ctwmaga.org.
Okay.
And the Gam-Anon website is gam-anon.org. And I have 2 phone numbers to give you.
Okay.
The hotline is 855-222-5542. I'll say it one more time. 855-222-5542. There's actually a number from New York that you can call, and you may not get a person. This is for Gam-Anon, and that number is 718-352-1671. And there's people there a couple days a week, but there's always, you can leave a message with your number, and they will definitely call you back.
Okay, wonderful. That's great resources for people who are looking to get their life back on track again. I will tell you, I did a show a couple weeks ago on addiction, and I was shocked at how quickly I ran out of time in talking about it because there's just so many tentacles to the addiction spoke, if you will. And I know the line. How much does ego come in? You mentioned when you went to your first meeting that your ego was just through the roof. Does ego play a part in all of this? Or I think ego affects more things than people realize. But is that also part of the foundation of a compulsive gambler besides the lying?
Oh, absolutely. Ego is a big part of it. Being the big shot, want to be all powerful. When you win, you feel all powerful. So those 2 things are definitely big factors of compulsive gamblers.
Wow. I figured that, but it definitely begged the question because you never know. I mean, I think ego does play a part in a lot of that. I don't think so much with the drinking and the drug addiction. I mean, to me, and I may be totally off mark, but in a lot of times with addiction, with alcohol and drugs, a lot of it has to do is you've trained your body to need it, which makes it even more difficult, which I would imagine with gambling, that's not the case. But most addictions, definitely, as you said, it's the behavior, and that is definitely the underbelly to their gambling addiction. So, yeah, a fascinating subject. I want to have you back again, Tony, so we can get into it a little bit more. I'm going to have you text me all those phone numbers and websites, and I will definitely put them onto where I post the show because it is just extremely, extremely important to get that information out. If you're listening, I will definitely post that information so you can get some help. But we do need to take a quick break. This is Elevating with Marsha on XM203, Series 217, and on the app at 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Do you have a story to share? Your story. Lifetime Private Autobiography Services can help. We will interview you by video or phone to get your memories in your words using your pictures. Our staff of talented writers will then recreate your story into a beautifully handcrafted book. You'll receive 10 individual copies for friends and family to enjoy for generations to come. Visit privateautobiography.com to schedule a free consultation. Mention this ad for a bonus audio recording from your personal interviews. To get started, visit privateautobiography.com or call 844-921-2802. That's 844-921-2802. Remember and be remembered with this gift of a lifetime.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more.
800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Hello and welcome back to the Ronnie Deutsch Tax Program. On the line is Paul from California. Hi, Paul. What's your tax problem today?
Hi, Ronnie. Love your show. Listen, I've got a big problem. You see, my paycheck was garnished last week, and I'm only getting half the normal amount. To make matters worse, the IRS froze my bank account. Listen, I'm embarrassed and scared. I need some help.
Listen, Paul, you don't need to feel embarrassed. You just need some tax help. And the great news is the IRS has some unbelievable programs that can eliminate your tax debt so you don't have to worry about having your paycheck garnished or your bank levied. Doesn't that sound great?
It sure does, Ronnie.
Then do yourself a huge favor and get a free consultation right now and tell them the tax lady sent you.
855-715-5721. 855-715-5721. 855-715-5721. That's 855-715-5721.
All right, everybody, we're out in 2, and I want to thank you for tuning in again. Thank you, Tony, for joining me today, highlighting your journey of recovery with gambling. Very important topic to me. Another podcast of Elevating with Marsha is in the books on XM 203, Sirius 217, and on the app at 967 Sports Byline USA Radio Network. You can find me on iHeartRadio, Amazon Audible, Stitcher, Tuned In, and the American Forces Radio Network. Today's show is brought to you by BlueWaveFinancial.com, MyHealth-Quotes.com, and ElevatedMediaESQ.com. I invite you to stop by our Facebook and Instagram page at Elevating with Marsha. We post information, sports, business, lifestyle tips, and ideas to help you elevate yourself and your business. Now, if you're interested in featuring your business on Elevating with Marsha, we can share with the listeners pertinent information about your business. Podcasting right now is red hot and productive. It allows your intended audience to listen when it's convenient for them. It allows for multitasking. It creates relationship building with your audience. Let's face it, nobody promotes your business better than you with a passionate and clear message about your product, services, or cause. The 1-hour podcast will allow you to connect and create super fans. The podcast helps with providing rich content that you can utilize on all your social media channels. It is a powerful marketing investment and a strategic means to link your business with new customers and clients. If you're a business owner looking to market your business with a podcast, direct message me with details via Instagram or Facebook. That's all for today on Elevating with Marsha on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. Remember, always be in the minute to win it. I want you to make it a great week. Adios.